The parable of the fig tree, verses 3-35. Jesus wraps up this section with the parable of the fig tree to illustrate the nearness of the temple's destruction. Setting the context, Matthew chapter 24 verse 1-3. As chapter 24 opens, Jesus leaves the temple. His disciples admire the magnificent buildings. Jesus shocks them by declaring its destruction. Not one stone will be left standing, verses 2. Later, on the Mount of Olives, the disciples ask two questions, verses 3. 1. When will the temple be destroyed? 2. What are the signs of Jesus' coming? Understanding the Olivet Discourse, two key questions. The disciples ask two questions. When will the temple be destroyed? What are the signs of Jesus' coming? Two distinct answers. Jesus addresses both questions. He speaks about the temple's destruction. He speaks about his second coming. Olivet Discourse insights temple's destruction. Jesus prophesied the temple's destruction. This event would occur within a generation. Signs of the end. Disciples also asked about the signs of Jesus' coming. They inquired about the end of the age. Key signs and their fulfillment. Wars. Jesus foretold wars and rumors of wars. These occurred before the temple's destruction. Famines were a sign of the end. They occurred in the Roman Empire, as recorded in Acts chapter 11 verse 28. Earthquakes, another sign, struck various regions. These were noted by historians of the time. Key questions. Two questions. The disciples wanted to know when the temple would be destroyed. They also wanted to know the signs of Jesus' coming. Distinct answers. Jesus addresses both questions. He speaks about the temple's destruction and his second coming. What is so important about Matthew chapter 24 verse 3? Two questions. The disciples asked when the temple would be destroyed. They also asked about the signs of Jesus' coming. Distinct answers. Jesus addresses both questions. He speaks about the temple's destruction. He speaks about his second coming. The abomination of desolation, verses 15-28, a specific sign. Jesus gives a sign to watch for. The abomination of desolation, in the holy place. Historical context. This refers to Roman armies surrounding Jerusalem. They destroyed the temple in AD 70. Urgent warning. Jesus warns those in Judea to flee. Do not even grab belongings, just run to the mountains. The parable of the fig tree, verses 3-35. Fig tree sprouts. When the fig tree puts forth leaves, summer is near. Signs appear likewise. Seeing the signs, know that destruction is near. Generation. This generation will not pass away until all is fulfilled. Understanding the Olivet Discourse. Prophetic teachings explore Jesus' prophecies. Understand their profound insights into future events. Temple's destruction. Examine the events surrounding the destruction of the Second Temple. Grasp the historical context. Second coming. Study the signs and implications. Prepare for the return of Jesus. Olivet Discourse insights two main topics. Jesus taught about the temple's destruction. He also taught about his second coming. Disciples questions. The disciples asked about the temple's destruction. They also asked about the end of the age. Separate answers. Jesus addresses the questions separately. He distinguishes between the two events. Key signs and their fulfillment. Jesus gave signs for the temple's destruction. These signs included wars and famines. The abomination of desolation was a key sign. This referred to Roman armies. They surrounded Jerusalem. These signs were fulfilled in AD 70. But he keeps the answers separate and distinct. Key questions. These questions frame the entire discourse. What are the signs of his return? Understanding these questions is vital. It is important to interpret correctly.